Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel, and headline here says it all. XRP is launching on Coinbase Pro. So as it turns out, today, February 25th, is the day that hell froze over. Thanks for watching. Before we get going here, if you would please hit that thumbs up and consider subscribing. If you don't hate everything that comes out of my mouth, I would definitely appreciate the support of this channel. So, getting moving here, XRP launching on Coinbase Pro. I actually needed to do a little refresher myself because I couldn't remember what the difference was between Coinbase Pro and Coinbase itself, and I remember now. Do you guys remember an exchange called GDAX? I do. I don't think I ever used it, but it was owned by the same company that owned Coinbase, and basically GDAX is just apparently a fine exchange. Like I said, I never used it, but ended up being rebranded as Coinbase Pro. So they wanted the Coinbase branding in there, and it's just there's more advanced features, this or that. And as many of you know, especially if you started your crypto journey in terms of purchasing similar to how I did, you may have done your original purchasing of cryptocurrencies on Coinbase, and that's what I did back in November of 2017. I bought a little bit of Ether, got one whole Litecoin, and some Bitcoin. And it was super easy. I didn't even understand how markets worked or where my crypto that I was purchasing was coming from. I didn't really know a whole lot. I just jumped in on a whim the day that I did it. Barely put any money in, so I didn't particularly care. This is before I had any knowledge of anything. And it was super easy to use. You sign up and you just hit buy. If you want to, you just buy it at the market rate. And there are only three cryptocurrencies at the time that you could buy when I jumped in November of 2017. That was it. Whole lot more functionality on a platform like GDAX, and I think more coins too. I don't recall off the top of my head, but my understanding was there's a whole lot more to buy and sell on GDAX also. And so again, GDAX became Coinbase Pro, and now we get the word today. XRP is launching on Coinbase Pro, and in doing some quick Googling here, what I found is, because again, XRP not on Coinbase itself today. Some people are misreporting the news out there that isn't what has happened yet anyway. I even logged into my old Coinbase account, which I hadn't done in forever, just to verify, just make sure that what was being reported was either right or wrong. And from what I'd seen is sometimes when coins are added to Coinbase Pro, it's a short time thereafter that they are then added to Coinbase. I think somebody cited, I can't remember which piece I read, and I don't have it pulled up here. I was just reading it earlier today, and they're citing Ethereum Classic, I think, as an example of that. So anyway, that was all, that all eventually happened. So regardless, my stance had always been at some point, Coinbase, of course, was going to add XRP. As far as the, internally why they didn't, I'm privy to as much information as you guys are, and I've looked into it, and I know a lot of people within our community are fervent believers that there's some sort of feud there between, in particular, Ripple and Coinbase, and there's a lot of hate and animosity going on behind the scenes, which could have led to XRP having never been listed. Maybe. I'm not going to pretend to know, and some people have strong opinions, but a lot of people, you don't have the facts either necessarily. We're only privy to so much information, and so the excuse that they had historically stated for delaying this is that they want to be the most trusted exchange out there. They don't want to rush anything, especially if coins, maybe the SEC hasn't provided enough clarity on whether a particular cryptocurrency is going to be considered a security. And that was kind of the argument. They're going to slowly add things and make sure that they're... And granted, they really did. Like, they took an approach that nobody else did. I'm not saying it's a good approach. I'm not saying that. Look at what Binance did. They had a completely different approach. The whole model is like great customer service, add all sorts of coins, and bam, they've surpassed Coinbase, where Coinbase's volume, from what I had read recently anyway, it seems like it's kind of plummeted. And so whatever their approach was, if it was purely a bad business decision, I have no ill feelings towards them whatsoever. If there's something behind the scenes where there actually was something shady going, as some people in our community believe, okay, show me the evidence and I'm on your side too. So I'm not saying you're wrong if you feel that way. I'm just saying I'm not going to form an opinion on that because I don't have the facts. And that's pretty much where I stand on that. Anyway, but funny enough, if you look down here, I don't know if I can find it quickly enough, and I don't want to make you guys wait, but they worded something to the effect of, regardless of how XRP ends up being classified, in terms of is it a security or not, they're going to support it. And I can't remember if I read that. Shoot, where did I? Maybe it was on the... I had this open too. This is a piece from CoinDesk on the topic. It might have been down... Yeah, I think it was here. Okay, so check this out. An individual familiar with Coinbase's internal decision-making process said the company, quote, is prepared to support the asset however it's classified by regulators, referring to the open question of whether XRP qualifies as a security. That's a completely different stance than I had ever seen publicly articulated by anybody working for Coinbase in the past. So, I think it's become crystal clear that even if the SEC hasn't come out and stated XRP is not a security, I think the writing's on the wall. It's never going to be listed as a security. I'd genuinely be shocked if it ever were. And I think that they know that, and so they're finally just like, okay, and they're kind of moving forward with it. That's what it sounds like, isn't it? So I find this genuinely fascinating, and at some point, again, to me, it was always just a matter of time. XRP will be on not just Coinbase Pro, but I'm confident it will be, probably in very short order, also on traditional Coinbase platform. And so then I saw this piece by Forbes on the topic. Ripple XRP is surging, boosting Bitcoin. Here's why. And poor Billy Bambrow, who wrote this, nothing against you, man, but you're conflating Ripple and XRP. One is a company, one is a coin, and you're saying that they, down here, are one's called the other, and not pointing out that that is actually incorrect. So just wanted to cite that for the sake of this video. But anyway, right, Ripple XRP has broken the wider cryptocurrency downturn today, adding over 7% following the weekend's wild market moves after a surprise announcement from U.S. exchange and wallet provider Coinbase. And so I did pull up, just for the fun of it, I hadn't checked cryptocurrency prices in at least a few days. I don't check that frequently usually. And here we are, XRP at what I last bought it at within the last, when did I buy it? Last a week or so ago? I buy a little bit more XRP. I'm always buying, regardless of whether it's up or down. I don't care. I just buy regularly because I believe big picture in the adoption of XRP. That's not financial advice, just my personal belief in there. And so I saw that and I was like, about nothing changed. So, whatever. And again, if you've watched more than one of my videos, you probably know that I genuinely just don't really care about the day-to-day fluctuations of cryptocurrency. That said, people thought, how many people have you heard state, if XRP gets added to Coinbase, Moon, Lambo, right? Moon Lambo. Me. But, actually, I think there could have been truth to that. Had it been added during the frenzy of the bull run in, say, late December 2017 and early January of 2018, perhaps. I mean, think about it. On pure speculation alone, XRP got up to what? Something like $3.80 was the market rate, I want to say. Can you imagine, had Coinbase, the most popular exchange at the time, launched it? You've got, then at that point, I guess that would have been the fifth coin, because I think in late December they added Bitcoin Cash, I want to say, late December 2017. So it would have been the fifth coin at that point, I guess. I think that you wouldn't have seen the frenzy stop for XRP at $3.80. Who knows what it would have gone to? What if it would have gone to $4, $5, $6, $7, $8, $9, $10? Who knows? We'll never know. It would have been purely, again, on speculation. Still would have crashed. But anyway, as a result, different environment here. So yeah, it was launched, and we're not seeing the same type of frenzy that I would have expected had it been added back then. So anyway, I just thought I'd point it out for fun, and I'll link this. It was interesting to see in this piece by Billy over at Forbes, just talking about how the other top coins were following news based on XRP rather than the other way around as you typically hear. Typically Bitcoin leads the market. Today, XRP led the market in terms of price action being, completely different than it otherwise would have been. I mean, it's the news that led to this happening, right? So anyway, just something I found kind of interesting. A couple other quick things I want to cover before hopping off today. This is from Cointelegraph. Warren Buffett. Bitcoin is a delusion that attracts charlatans. And why are there so frequently articles about a guy, Warren Buffett, who knows nothing about this? He's admitted previously, he knows nothing about Bitcoin and the technology behind it. But here's a quote from him: "You can stare at it all day." No, here, I'm going to start up here. When asked if he changed his mind concerning Bitcoin in the CNBC interview, Buffett answered saying that he did not, and that it is a delusion, basically. During the conversation, he also pointed out that Bitcoin has no unique value at all, since blockchain does not depend on Bitcoin, and it does not produce anything. Buffett further explained, You can stare at it all day and no little Bitcoins coming out or anything like that. It's a delusion, basically. Oh, my Lord. Oh, God, he just doesn't get it. Look, you could argue about whether or not Bitcoin's going to be adopted as a peer-to-peer currency, but look, money's not intended to produce stuff on its own. It's designed to be used, all right? And Bitcoin, with no counterparty, can be used in a fundamentally different way than fiat currency. And that's the utility in it. And so even, and I'm not going to make a strong case. I typically don't. But people ask me, why are you confident that the cryptocurrency asset class is here to stay? It's not because of the peer-to-peer currency, platform, frankly, especially, that's the way Bitcoin's being positioned. Not that can't happen, but that's not why I'm so bullish. The reason is, and this is what he's absolutely missing here, is that you can have fundamentally new businesses, new business models, new types of businesses function because not just of blockchain technology, yes, blockchain technology, but in tandem with digital assets native to, in XRP's case, the XRP ledger, right? That is a fundamental breakthrough difference, and you can have all sorts of business models, again, that were not possible. And you, Mr. Warren Buffett, I would say to you, if you think that humans aren't going to find a way to monetarily value that, then you're wrong. And you are wrong, because XRP has been valued based on market rates since, when was it technically released? Off the top of my head, was it 2012? Something like that, okay? So about 7-8 years, whatever it's been. And real humans get to, and yeah, a lot of it's speculation now, but what I'm telling you is, because there are real business applications out there, people like us that are purchasing it know that those businesses will need it to operate, and bam, there you go. That was the beginning of the whole ecosystem, just that fundamental understanding that might happen. And it's been proved. You've got banks adopting XRapid now. So if you think it's not got staying power, I'm sorry, but you're short-term minded here. Like you're not getting the big picture, all right? So that's my 2 cents. That's what I think on it. Here's the last little thing I wanted to cover today. I don't have a lot to say on this, but I wanted to point it out because it's just one of those things where you're like, ouch. This is from globalcryptopress.com with the headline, U.S. government recovers and returns stolen BTC to Bitfinex. But only 28 out of the 120,000 total. Oh my gosh! I don't know that I had even heard of this particular hack. There have been so many, and this is before I was even in the space. But it was back in August of 2016. Hackers got away with 120,000 Bitcoin, which at its peak would have been worth $228 million. And Bitfinex shared a press release stating, here's the fun part of it, not fun if you're Bitfinex, I guess. Bitfinex has now retrieved 27.7 BTC and further to the recovery strategy outlined in the aftermath of the hack. This is being converted to USD and paid to RRT recovery right token holders. I don't know what RRT is, but the point is they got hacked for 120,000 Bitcoin and they got back just a little under 28. Ah, man, that is absolutely rough, man. Wild, wild west out there. So what do you guys think about Coinbase Pro, anyway, adding XRP? Do you even care at this point? What are your opinions on why there was a holdout in the first place? Were they right to do it? Were they wrong to do it? Was there sinister intent behind it? I'd love to know what you guys think. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say are right. That would be a very, very, very bad idea.